Today, guys, we're talking about new builds, specifically the lighting phase, and we've got an expert who has lots of experience in it, this lady right here, Diane. So she's going to fill us in on a lot of information on this, so stay tuned to the end. Hey guys, I'm James Dean, team leader of the James D. Mountain Homes team. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Just really quick before we get into the meat of this video, I just wanted to make sure if you haven't done so already, hit that subscription button down below, hit that notification bell. That keeps you updated on all the new videos that we have coming out weekly. We've got several that come out each week on this channel, so please stay up to date with that. Also, if you've got any questions whatsoever that are real estate related or just in the community, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and give us a call. You can either call us at 719-266-2725. You can text us to that number as well, or you can email us at info@jdmret.net. Please, whatever you got to do to get those questions to us, please ask. We're here to help. We're here to provide value to you and helping you make informed decisions, whether you're looking to buy or sell real estate or just typical questions for the community out here. We are local experts of this area and we love this area. So please reach out to us, and we hope you guys enjoy this video. So new builds and lighting. So we've got an expert on this. Diane's got a pretty dynamic background with new builds, specifically custom new builds and lighting, because she has a lot of experience as an interior lighting designer.
Yes.
Not just with homes, but also businesses, but a lot of homes as well. So we're going to be asking her a lot of questions today as we're showcasing her. She is our new build expert for new build homes, and just letting you guys be able to get a lot of information you might not have had before, might not even thought about, just to kind of give you some food for thought and be able to answer some questions of your own, or maybe even cause you to have some questions that you need to call and ask Diane about anyways on this stuff. So, all right.
Yes,
well,
thank you, James.
You're welcome. And Diane is an awesome real estate agent now too, but she's just got this experience background in it, so why not use it as much as possible?
I think I can add value into the real estate market, so yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And how long have you been a interior lighting designer?
Since back in 2012 is when I started. And so my employer at the time, Kevin Hood, he was a professor in lighting, so I learned under him.
Nice.
So,
very
yes.
nice. So she's done a lot of homes. Do you have a number by any chance about how many homes you've done lighting on?
Oh my goodness.
I know, I really put you on the spot.
Yeah, that's like over more than a decade of experience. I would say my portfolio, 80% residential, 20% commercial.
Yeah.
And now actually this summer I'm doing some more commercial jobs, which I find really challenging but exciting at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about, so when we've got a new build, because I know new builds can be pretty stressful, especially if you've never done one before. Even if you have done one before, it can still be stressful. You probably know what's coming as you go through each phase, but almost every single new construction is always going to have its own little set of issues or problems that need to be solved. And since we're talking about lighting today, I guess we'll start off first, like what in a custom build, when do you normally start talking with the new homeowner who's buying the home about what their expectations should be or what kind of options they might want to look at as well?
So I like to start as soon as the plans are permitted. And so we're working one-dimensional with the homeowner. And we want to be able to achieve the objective where at the electrical walk phase of the house, we have a completed lighting wish list that we can say, this is what we're going to put in the great room, this is what we're using in the kitchen island. And therefore, at the electrical walk, you are sharing that information with the electrician, and then he in turn will know exactly what type of rated J box to use in the space.
Great. Okay, so yeah. So you start off with the permitting phase. So you start talking about little options they might have, yes. Probably starting to give them a little bit of idea of like expectations or trying to figure out what they want or what their style is as well, I'm guessing.
Yes. Yeah, no, that is true, James, because that initial first meeting that I had with the homeowner, we would like to literally walk through the house one-dimensional, and we're going to discuss how their different rooms are going to function. So let's say a young family with 2 or 3 kids, Their dining room is more like their crafting, arts and craft area, homework area while mom is cooking. So you want to be able to light for task as opposed to creating ambience in a dining. Now you can have both those functions in that same room, but the way we design the lighting, you're able to control that ambiance that you want to set for the space.
Yeah, wow, yeah. And it's what's crazy is I've always just thought, oh, let's just get a light bulb. That's why I don't do this. Because she'll walk around and she'll point stuff out. She could put it out in my office right now of exactly things that we don't want to see in there too. So, but she's got the eye for that, and she's going to be able to help you think through things that you might not have thought through as well. So as we kind of get through that planning portion of the permitting, and we come into the electrical, what's the term I'm looking for?
The electrical walk.
Yes.
So just to recap a little bit on the different phase, so we'll have groundbreaking, which is very sacred and traditional for the homeowners and builders. Once groundbreaking, we have foundation, and then once a house goes into framing and the roof is up, then we'll start working towards plumbing and electrical. So that is before insulation and drywall. So we want to catch everything that can possibly happen with electrical before drywall goes in, and that is the key.
Yeah, and that would absolutely be lighting, because lighting needs electrical. So
Yes.
So knowing where switches go, where fixtures are going to be hung, and all the different stuff that kind of goes with
So at the electrical walk, you're going to decide what. We've already selected all of the lighting when we get to that point, and then you're going to decide, okay, do I need to three-way my security lights in my master, or do I need to three-way that also in my kitchen? So little things like, how am I going to function in this space, traversing from the kitchen into the bedroom, where you want those light switches, which is easier. And if your home is going fully automated, then we'll be able to set everything up on a keypad, and there wouldn't be any light switches on the wall. So it's a different type of wiring, and that's something that we will discuss very early in the process.
Yeah, definitely not something you want to discuss after you already started putting the wiring in.
Yes.
Otherwise it gets very expensive very quickly.
Yes.
So once you've gone through that phase and we've had the electrical walkthrough at that point, what's the next kind of stages that the client is going to be looking at in terms, is that when they start looking at fixtures? Have they already looked at fixtures? Are they starting to talk about like the type of ambiance they're going to cover? I mean, I know we've already talked about how spaces are going to get used, and if it's going to be a task space, like you used the example of a dining room with the family as opposed to not having a family. Does that kind of encompass everything within that particular phase, or is there a point where once the walls kind of start getting built with the framing on there, where you're discussing, okay, if we want like a chandelier hung, this is how far you'd want it to come down, or this is the type of chandelier I'd recommend for this area? Yeah. When do you kind of get into that mode?
So usually, let's say for one of my custom homes, anywhere between 5,000 to 6,000 square feet, I'm going to meet with them at least 9 hours up front before the electrical walk to make sure that the lighting fixtures that we've selected are going to flow nicely with all of the interior palette in the home. So we're talking about the color palette, we're talking about choice of flooring, furniture pieces, what my appliances are going to look like, what are my pulls and knobs are going to look like. So we want to make sure that your design on your doors, your design on your cabinet doors, what's the color on those cabinet, and so the lighting becomes the jewelry in the end. Do I need to wear all of this jewelry, or can I take off some of these, or make some changes just before I leave the house? So it's very similar. And so when we select the style of the light, we want to make sure that it is true to the integrity of the style of the home. So if we're doing a mountain rustic home, then we want to choose a lighting that reflects that style. If I'm doing more of the contemporary homes that I like, then we want to make sure that that is also shown in the lighting, and therefore it will complement the space nicely.
Okay, so after the electrical walkthrough, then what's next?
So then the house is walked after the electrician wires the home, and all of those junction boxes are checked where they're going to be looking for any deviations to what the lighting design plan would have had.
Okay.
And those are noted, and the builders are also informed, and any changes has to be made before the drywall phase goes in, because after drywall it's going to be very difficult to make changes.
I would imagine it probably even has to be done before the inspector comes out to do the final inspection on the electrical as well.
That is correct.
So,
yeah.
So it's good to have somebody that knows exactly what they're looking for on that and knows the questions to ask for that as well, and to help guide. So this is why she's our new build expert out here as well. So let's talk a little bit more. Okay, so let's say all of that's complete now and the drywall's up and we're just doing finishing touches. Really, I guess everything's kind of done. They've got, if it's being mudded, they've got the mud up, they've painted. It's usually right around then that you're probably looking at fixtures actually being installed. Is there another portion that kind of goes through that? Or?
So that is called the trim phase. So the builder usually refers to it, we're going to be trimming out the house in this week of this month. And so that trim out can be baseboards, it can be lighting fixtures, it can be finishing the kitchen, the trims on the kitchen. So in that phase, I will go back to the house. So I'm walking a client's house several times as a lighting designer, just confirming, almost like an inspector inspecting the home at every stage in the process. It's like that as a designer, you want to go back in and double check, making sure that the final product, the homeowner is going to really enjoy her space at the end of the day. So right after, in that trim out phase, there is a punch list process that goes on, and so
the notorious punch list
that takes sometimes all your fixtures are warranted and that sort of thing, and so those things will come into play. I need replacement, certain things didn't work in the space, it's defective, we need to get that replaced. So in that punch list phase, it's a bit challenging, but once you've overcome those challenges, it's free sailing, and then you're on to photo day and moving time.
You're pretty much at the end when you come to that punch list side. So, well, I hope you guys really got a chance to learn something about the lighting portions of a custom build. Custom builds absolutely have the most dynamic as far as an interior lighting designer or anything along those lines. But even if you're not doing a custom build, you're doing a spec home, a semi-custom spec, or it's like a cross between the two in there, or even a track type build. Having somebody that understands these phases, understands what's supposed to happen, is going to be able to help represent you in that process as well, so that you can make sure you're being represented correctly while the builder is handling your money on one of your biggest investments, which is building your new home. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that. Guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that video. And once again, before you sign off, make sure you hit that subscription button, that notification bell down below. That will keep you updated on all the new videos that we have come out that are here to inform you and help keep you updated on what's happening here, both in the community and in real estate as well. And once again, too, if you've got any questions, please do not hesitate to give us a call, 719-266-2725. You can text us at that number as well, or you can email us at info@jdmret.net, and we will get back to you as quickly as possible to answer all of those questions. We're here to serve you, and we look forward to helping you soon. I think that's perfect, actually. Might be a little bit shorter, but that'll be fine. At least that way I'm not looking down at you now. So. No, I'm good. I'm 6'1". I don't stand on things.
Oh my God, you sound just like Scott.